Okay, guys, how you doing? Sorry, I'm a bit late. I was just running behind a little bit there. Let me have a little look. My apologies. I hope everyone's well. It's taking a day off. No, I'm here, mate. I was just running a bit behind. So I've just literally run up here now. So that was yesterday's lows. Let's lock that. Load. Yesterday's lows. Okay. Let me just, I'm a little bit unorganized actually. Okay. Who have we got here? Indy, how you doing? Speedy, how you doing? Ramwolf, Indy, Stefan, how you doing, guys? So hope everyone's okay. I think that was yesterday's highs, which is exactly the same. So where's the official open? Let's get that. Which is about there. Let me just there we go. That's it there. Right, it's going to, in fact, how weird is that? The official open is exactly to the nearest tick when the market opened. How weird is that? What's the chances of that? It does make you wonder whether these things are random or not, doesn't it? So let's have a wee looky. Took quick long for the, oh, good on you, mate. Well done. Good on you. Let's have a look. We seem to be something like that, I think. A little bit of a trend going up there. We are in a bit of a range. So have I forgot anything? I don't think I have. Okay, so there you go. So let's see how we get on here. Okay, guys. Hope everyone's well. Everyone had a good day yesterday. I ended up I came back yesterday because the market was naff, came back and I managed to get a trade in. So I ended up being a little bit green yesterday. So that was on the good side. But I don't know. I found it a bit frustrating yesterday sometimes. You know, you just don't feel in the mood or something's not right. And it was a bit like that yesterday. What I think I need to do is, and we all have these problems, I need to wait for better setups. I think I need to wait till I get that. The trouble is, a lot of the time when you take a trade, you have this sort of experience when you look at a trade, don't you? Sometimes the trades literally jump out at you. They don't look any better. You know what I mean? And I think I need to hold back and wait for those because conditions are tough at the moment. There's clearly not as much setups as there used to be. That's for certain. So look at that. So yeah, what I need to do is just sit back and just up my trade quality a little bit. You know, sort of up my standards a little bit because I'm taking a lot riskier trades and it's coming back to bite me. Last week I seemed to have a really good week. I was patient, everything worked. So I just need to be aware, I think, of you know how I am. So we'll see what happens anyway. See what happens. So let's see how we got on today. Took 2 quick longs. That's it for me. That's all you need, mate. Yeah, good on you, buddy. Well done. Okay, so we got a little bit of a channel going up here. It's clearly ranging at the moment, no argument there. Let me just think if there's a better way of putting this. Not really, is there? Let's put it there for now. There's 2 bodies touching it there. It's as good as any, really. I looked at yesterday, actually, that there was a trade I took. I think you took one as well, Speedy, didn't you? What I think I need to do, if I pick these bottoms, really, I think you want to wait for them to break out and then push back in and sit nicely there. I mean, I took a trade. Well, if I bring that down here, I took a trade sort of like that. If you look at that bar there, it's just not good enough, really. I mean, ideally, if I bring this down, maybe that's the top of the trend. I mean, one like that would have been ideal. 1 leg up, 2 legs up, broke out the top, came back in strongly and finished on its low. That type of trade for a sort of a short. Let me just see if I can figure out the best way of putting this. Let's put it there for now. And the bottom around about there, I think, is as good as any. Something like that. Okay. I just move this up as well. Why did I do that? Okay, so let's put it at the overnight highs. Well, it's early morning really, isn't it? The overnight highs are there, but let's leave it like that for now because we've touched that. Okay, we're pulling back in, so let's bring it back to let's leave it there a minute. Sorry, tiny touch lower. Okay, so it's touching perfectly there. It's touching there. I think that's as good as any, really. I mean, this is obviously a clear breakout. So now news, we have some high impact news around about 22 minutes. So let's see how we get on anyway. So let's see how we get on. I wanted to say something to you guys now. I can't remember what it was. What was it? I was talking to somebody yesterday. No, I think it was just it was about the trade choice. That's all. I think the way things are at the moment, one trade a day, I think, is a reasonable amount if you're waiting for good setups. Now, obviously, Speedy, you got in there with a couple, and if you can manage to get a couple, then you know, happy days. But the trouble is, you know, Matt, when I sort of started, Matt goes on about 2 to 3 trades a day. At the moment, it's tough going, I think. And if you set yourself up for 2 to 3 trades, you can set yourself up for a fail, really. I'm not saying, you know, sometimes they come along. Sometimes you get a couple of trades in quick succession. Sometimes it happens. But what I'm trying to do is get my mind focused on 3 hours of trading, just concentrate on one trade. Now, if I can get one trade, I tend to average around 3 to 4 points, somewhere like that. So I've got to accept that the fact that if you can do 3 points, one trade a day, that's $1,500 a week. That's a lot of money over 10 accounts or over 5 accounts. It mounts up massively. And that's the beauty about having multiple. I know what it was. I suppose most of you know they've put it up to 90% for up until the 20th, I think. Where are we? 14th, 15th, 16th. Till next Thursday, I think. Yeah, so it's 90% off. So that extra 10% doesn't sound a lot, but it takes an evaluation to about, I don't know, is it about $17 to $19, something like that, which is just, it's just cheap, isn't it? Like I've said to you before, I don't know why they don't just say, right, 80% off everything, flat, that is it, do what you want with it. Because they spend more time now having this 80% off, or 90% in this case, let's say 80%, than they do at half price. I mean, they certainly don't full price. And to be honest with you, I don't know anybody who pay full price anymore. $150 odd dollars or $167 for evaluation. You just wouldn't do it. Speed, what you're saying. Was looking at the day charts, a strong bull bar we had yesterday. Yeah, so what are we going to do today? So I used to look at the daily, and I tend to not bother now. But I used to have I went for a spell of having the daily and the 10,000 tick chart up, and seeing if they would help me, and they didn't really. Okay, let's just move this up a touch. Let's see if it can squeeze anywhere. Okay, it's hard to tell really. It's still a bit early. That could be a bit of a breakout, but I don't know. It's I don't know. I think that would be slightly risky. I don't know. Usually you'd have a break at a new low, but you don't know whether we're moving up a bit. I mean, we had the low, a couple of legs down to new low, and we've had one push up. We could, you know, we could be. I don't know really, but We'll see, but there's nothing we could do at the moment. Hey, Woods, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Excuse me just a minute, guys. I've been running around and I just need to have a quick bathroom break, so I'm just going to put that 5 minutes. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Sorry about that. I had a cup of coffee downstairs I'd forgotten about as well. Okay, so a quick scan at yesterday. Yeah, clearly an uptrend. It is frustrating when it moves like, 60 points, 65 points. If only you just jumped in here and let it go. Anyone ever done that? Just stuck one contract in, put a small risk, seen it going up and just randomly jumped in and see if it... I did it on a micro. I think I risked $5 and I went and had a sleep. Came back a couple of hours later and it was up to $165. It's just a damn shame it wasn't normal contract now. But Sam, how it going, everyone? Oh, we're all good, mate. We're all good. But yeah, strong day yesterday. What was that? Look, a couple of sort of legs down. Yeah, we definitely seem to be having a little bit of an upward movement. Let's have a look. Wow, I wasn't expecting that push strong like that. Let's have a look. Just trying to think if there's a That's a bit early, really, isn't it? It's just a push up and a break, another push up. We've got this news, haven't we? So, where is it? What is it? Okay. Okay, see how we get on anyway. Yeah, it's a bit too early, isn't it, to start? It's a bit, yeah, it's unpredictable, isn't it? A little bit of sideways and then a push up. So, wow, there's no holding it back. The trouble is, a lot of places where you take setups, that's where you seem to you either win or fail, don't you? But sometimes when you just see this going off like this, sometimes you're better off just randomly jumping in a strange way. I know it sounds a bit odd, it's not the right thing to do, but when you see it going here, you see it going off like that, and it came back, and you're just thinking as it goes off again, I think sometimes you've got more chance, because a lot of times where we take trades, it's the perfect place to get trapped. So it's frustrating, really, isn't it? But wow, look at that goes. No stopping it. I don't think it's any sort of a... Doesn't quite look right, does it? Let's just do it in a section by section. Okay, so a little bit of upwards and then a big push up. Yeah, they're about 15 quid for us, Bill. I know, it's ridiculously cheap, isn't it? I know. To be honest with you, and I'll tell you this for certain, they make a lot more money doing 80 and 90%. I'll tell you that for certain, because I know, because I have this affiliate link down here. And when it's at the normal 50% off, I get hardly any. When it's at the 80% off, I get 7-8 times the amount. And you think about it, so they're obviously selling a lot more, but when they're cheap, people take risks. Let's say I took a couple of trades now and lost a couple of trades, and I'm £600-700 down on a $30 on a $30 evaluation. It's no, you just think, okay, I'll have a gamble. I'll double me contract, or I'll times 5 me contract and see if I get lucky. And if you don't get lucky, cost you another $30. It's not the end of the world, and that's the problem, really. That's the downside to evaluations being so cheap. Because they are so cheap, they're almost disposable in a strange sense. So that's the downside, obviously. But for the people who are sensible and just want to save a bit of money, and I know if you look at Shalon Winter, he trades. What does he trade? He trades the sniper system with Apex. He runs one of the, I think he runs one of the Facebook groups. He's on a $25,000 evaluation, and he's been doing it for about 2 months, 2.5 months, maybe more, something like that. And for I looked about a few weeks ago, and he was down $1,000, but he's still. So some people play them well. So but obviously they are, the reason they do these, because they know a lot of people go through a lot of them. I'll be surprised if that doesn't shoot straight up there and stop them shorts out, if anybody took that. 1, 2, we'll see. And that's strong buying, that is. Trouble is, where do you draw the line? Let's have a look. I wonder if it's going to do something like that. Sort of one leg up, something like that. It's a bit hard to work out, isn't it? I don't know whether it may be something like this. We generally don't go from there, do we? But let's go from there, and from there we've surpassed that anyway. So let's ditch that. Maybe one leg up, a little bit of a pullback, another leg up. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Let me just check. There's nothing up here from. No, this is the highest we've been for 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 or 5 days. This is the highest we've been. I'm not sure what's going on. I know cryptos are pumping at the moment. I made a few quid in the last few days. I got a bit of Solana. That's gone up about 25% in the last week. I've got some H-bar. That's gone up about 10% in the last few days. I've got a few bits but not a lot of money. Maybe, I don't know. Not a lot. $1,000. A little bit over that. Not a lot. Most of mine lost a ton. I just came in at the wrong time, but obviously the time seems to be now. Bitcoin's come up from $15,000 and it really struggled to get over that sort of late 20s, and then it pumped straight up. So it does seem like lots of people are talking about bull runs. So, and yeah, the people that generally in the know, the people I sort of listen to, people who made a lot of money out of it. Okay, push up, pull back, push up. Possible second entry long. You think we're going to go high? It's hard to tell at the moment. It certainly could go. I mean, if you don't think it can go much more than that, you just take a look at that. But yeah, we seem to be at the start of a bull run. Lots of majority of people I hear talking about them. People like Gareth Soloway, I tend to listen to a lot. He's made a ton of money, quite a few million out of cryptos. So I'm starting to put little bits in there just to see if I can't make a bit of money out of this bull run. I didn't do too well at the last one, so. Right, so we touched here. Touched here. So hard to tell, isn't it? I think it's dangerous just to go off here. We've had a short-term trend channel, we've had a break and a new high. It's still not stopping, isn't it? Is it? Possible second entry short off here. I'm not sure what's going on, whether that is a... I don't know what it's doing. Maybe it might be something like this. What's going on? Why are you playing up? Yeah, I'm not convinced I know what's going on. I wish you wouldn't do that. Let's get rid of that. I don't know what's going on here. Let me just draw a smaller trend chart from here, see if that fits okay. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, that's quite nice. We've had a break. It hasn't even hit the same level as that, so it's just a risky trade, that is. In my opinion, we could have had a couple of legs up. That's a lower high. Could possibly fail. I don't know. I'd say it's probably going to go up maybe to here. Yeah, that's the thing, Bill. Very easy to jump in. You take a couple of bad trades and you just hit the reset button. It's a very cheap reset button, and there's the downside, really. It's a bit frustrating. Let's put that back. Let's put it there. In fact, I'll tell you what. This could possibly be a bit of a spike in channel. Let's pop that there. See how this falls. That falls quite nice, doesn't it? Okay, let's just change the colour so it's a bit more obvious. Okay, so maybe a bit of a spike in channel. Let's close this in a bit. Yeah, touch is nice, touch is nice. If you say a spiking channel, touches a couple of times there, close enough there. Yeah, so push up, pull back, push up. I'd say we're likely to get up here. I didn't expect that really, a little bit of sideways and then just off it went. So we could end up having one of those typical days where we get some sideways, we get a push, then we get another bit of sideways and maybe another push, who knows. I don't even think I can adjust that any other way, really. Somewhere in the ballpark, isn't it? Yeah, I think maybe a bit of a spike in the channel. Fits quite nice on the backside. Okay. It wasn't really a setup there anyway. We just came back and a strong push up, but it had gone within what 0.75 of the highs anyway. It depends whether you believe this or not. I think the way it's going up, it's quite lightly push up and a bit of a retrace and then push up again. But who knows? News in a couple of minutes. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Okay, yeah. 15 seconds on my clock. See if it shoots up and hits that. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. It always surprises me. We get a big, like, quick drop, and then usually it goes back up. It's weird, isn't it? You tend to think if it's less positive. Okay. Okay, so I'll be interested to see if it goes back up and reaches this now, because we've had a break, haven't we, of this? Quick break. A lot of times we do pull back. Who knows? $10. Not the biggest news we've had. We did have a 55-point candle about 4 weeks ago. Right now, let me adjust this. In fact, I'm going to get rid of it for now. Try to go once, try to go twice. So we're coming back and retesting this top. Hard to say. You would think that would be bearish now, wouldn't you? Try to go once, try to go twice. See if it triggers. Risky, I think, but we've had one push down. May get another one back to here. It's hard to say, but yeah, it's weird, isn't it? We drop, pull back up to more or less where we were. Let's put that back where it was. Let's see if we do push up and nick this. Okay, so we're in this channel. We've had a break. Maybe. Ola, amigo, Ola to you. What we're expecting right now? That's a good question, mate. Good question. I'm guessing the way we dropped and pushed back up, I'd say it's quite likely we're going to break this high. But I would say it's quite likely we're going to hit this target. We've had a push up, pull back. That measured leg, I would say, would be my target. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay. So I would say, personally, I'd say we're likely to certainly break the high. But we've obviously had this news, a bit of a drop, so it's just hard to say at the moment. That might be a short trap, I'd say. It probably likely is a short trap. I'll soon find out because it is a second entry short. We've had the high, so we try to go once, try to go twice. Let's see. Who knows? We might have two legs down and then push up. I don't know. I'd say that's likely to push up and take these stops out personally, but we have had this news event, so not a huge news event, but there you go. Okay, well, that worked. Now let's see if we're going to go now. Possible second entry long. Let's see where this finishes. Let me try that measured leg again. Okay, so let's see what happens there. So, remember I mentioned earlier, a bit of sideways push up and a bit of sideways. I said there's a good chance. Good chance we may be getting a bit of sideways. Let's see. One leg down. Second entry long. Ooh, that's very tempting. Very tempting.
Order submitted.
I'm going to buy that back to the mate. No, it's getting a bit congested. Forget that idea.
Order cancelled.
I think we've had two legs down. Let's have a look. One leg. Two legs. No, we've had two legs. Okay, short-term trend shall break below. Have a look. Break, new low. I think we've hit that measured leg again. It's just too risky at the moment. I'm going to let that news settle down a bit. Never triggered anyway, so short-term trend shall break new low. Hmm. Let go. So if you took that second entry short, it was a possibility. I just couldn't take it because after this, I just didn't know whether we were going to nick that high or not. But if you took that second entry short, it was a bit above. I mean, the trouble is the EMA was going up and it was above the EMA, so it's a risky trade. But if you took that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 14, went down 14, 15 points, something like that. Now, if we after that push up, news pushed us back. We tried again a couple of more times. In fact, actually, it might not have been a terrible trade. So we had that, clearly got a new high. We had one push back, bounced up, retested it once, twice, failed, came crashing down. So that, hey mate, how are you doing? How are you doing? So that, yeah, it might not have been a bad trade, actually. It wasn't a massive risk. What was it? It says 0.75. So 2.25 points, not a huge risk. But if you follow that down, probably a lot of the time when you get this, it'll make it up and then more or less carry on back from where it started. But it clearly tried to, actually, to be fair, that was probably a triple test, actually, really. Once, twice, 3 times, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Mac marks that, or if he was, he's obviously not here, but so possibly an overshoot. I'm not massively convinced it is. Push back up. Maybe after that we might make a couple of legs up and come down some more. It's hard to say. Okay, tick below, so maybe we'll get another leg up. Anybody take that, by the way, did they? That second entry short, or you could call that a triple test, I think, once. Excuse me. Oh. Okay, new low, try to go lower, so twice possible failure. But it's congested to hell there, so. Could be a leg up, a little bit of sideways, another leg up, and then back down. Oh. Excuse me, just for 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. Ooh, now. Up here, touch this, come down bearish, close below there. So, trend channel, break, one leg up, two legs up. Ooh, let me get an order ready.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Okay, see how we get on here. I like where it finished. We've had a break, one leg, two legs. Not perfect legs, but see how we get on. Is that going to get some longs? Come on, push down. A little bit of a break out the top. Nice bearish bar. Come on. Come on. Bottom channel break. One leg, two leg. Not perfect leg, but come on. Come on. Come on. Where are we going to go? I'm going to put that down here just in case it does come down quicker. Come on. Bearish now. Come on. Okay, now come down. Once we can get below here, and maybe here, I think we might be right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I like the bar anyway. Okay. Semi-good. Okay, that might work. Come on. Come on. Finish bearish. Finish bearish. Come on. Come on. It's going to fly one way or another, put it that way. Come on. Patience is a virtue. It's the highest point there anyway, that red bar. It's the highest point. We're going sideways. I'd expect to make a new low. It's the highest point. So come on. Sometimes patience works. Okay, let's drop it there. See if it goes now. If it goes now, I'll drop it back. Okay.
Stop filled.
Okay. I think it's going to shoot down in a second, I do. just the way it's looking, yeah, I sort of knew that was going to happen. I had that feeling. It was trying. What did I get? At least I got something out of it anyway. Okay, better than a kick in the teeth. Oh, that one's still going. Flatten everything.
Order
Okay.
filled.
Oh, which one was that? Okay. Okay. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Damn it, that's frustrating. What did I get out of the one? 6912. Okay, I got to point out the one. 4 points out the other one. Okay, the one never triggered. Damn it! It's frustrating when the PA doesn't and the other one does. You're still in the trade. Yeah, I am. I'm out of it now. Well, it worked out okay, that one did, because I basically doubled up. But it was a point and something in the other one, 412. I wish I'd have held now. I sort of knew once we had a breakdown here, it was going to push down. And what happened? It went right down to the bottoms and bounced. So, okay. Oh, well. So, which one was it, that one? Let's go with the point. Damn it. Oh, well. And I got some on the other one as well. That was the evaluation, fortunately or unfortunately. Big strong shoot like this, one leg up, two legs up. I mean, it was more like it was a visual second entry, one push up, two push up. I mean, move trade, take that second entry short. He's still in it with the runner. 24 points. Oh, in this one here, you mean? Oh, is he really? Flipping hell. Yeah, the trouble is, because of the news, I mean, Mac will tell you, he'll draw a box around that, wait for it to settle. So you just don't know whether it's going to, I mean, it could come back once, it could come back twice and go high. You just don't know. It's a risky trade, that is, personally, but you just don't know. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm just going to leave that a minute. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What did it go down anyway? So, I mean, once it shot down here, I'd have shit my pants anyway. So, I'd have probably, when did I have my stop? Down here, I think, didn't I? So, it would have probably hit my stop relatively quick. So, that's a shame, isn't it? I mean, that came down quick. Oh, well. Sometimes it works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't. I've had them, work in my favour before, where I just happen to have it down here and whammo, down it goes. But never mind. Okay. But the valuation did okay. That kept going. Yeah, I got an extra $300 on the valuation, so that worked out okay. But yeah, it's just frustrating. But well. Okay, so yeah, so look, we've pushed out of him, we've come back in here, and seems like we're now pushing out the bottom. Look, so he got 24 points off that, did he? Oh. So did he? How can he get 24 points? It's only just past that now. Didn't you say that a while ago? You told me that. .24 runner. It's only literally just past there now, but I don't know. Maybe that's where he's left his thing there. Look, but ooh, look at that. Okay, so now, let's see what happens now then. Going down some more. A bit too early yet. Okay, so we got no more news anyway. That's the news sorted. Yeah, I mean, it had that nice sharp trend, and then we pushed up. It was like a visual second. I'd have preferred the measured leg, but if it's a strong market, it won't even get there. And that, to be honest with you, is the best of the bunch. And sometimes it does go. I mean, trouble is when it goes sideways, if the trade's good, it should still work out. I see so many times where Mac will take something like that and it'll go sideways and then drop. But obviously after that selling pressure, you would expect it to make a new low, and obviously it certainly did. But well, sometimes it works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I got out of it. The trouble is, you just don't know. I mean, it's possible it could have gone the other way, but usually, if it's a good trade, they usually hold. Just wondering whether we got any type of a spike in the channel here. Let's have a look there. Okay, it's possible. It's certainly a spike, but that way. Let's leave that there for now. I'm not sure about this. The only reason I'm leaving it is because we've had this push down, we've had a push up, a little bit of sideways, right back to the EMA, and we do seem to be respecting this line, and we're working in this. It's almost like the top of the two-tier channel, isn't it? We're working in this, so I'm leaving there at the moment because another option is to do something like that, which. In fact, I don't think it really matters, does it? We're only going to be taking on this side. It doesn't matter whether it's over here or not. In fact, let's bring it over anyway. Doesn't matter. We're not trading on this side anyway, so. Okay, so let's bend that. Okay, so pushed under here and we're bouncing. I'm just wondering whether we're going to retest this line and maybe come down some more. That is a possible second entry short. It's certainly bearish, isn't it? We've pushed below. It's a second entry short. Let's see if we get another bar and it closes below here, because if it does, I'd like that to go a bit
Order
lower.
submitted.
We're clearly working in here, aren't we? Because we pulled out of this range and then we strongly pulled back, a couple of pullbacks and two nice legs again. So mind you, it is a bit of a bottom. It's sort of like a bottoming pattern. So whether I might just it's not a huge amount of distance to the bottom, is it? I don't know whether it'll keep coming or not, but let's. It is a second entry short. Let's see how it finishes. Hopefully it'll be a small risk. We have broken out the bottom. We've retested it. So let's see how that finishes.
Order filled.
Oh, did that work or not?
Order cancelled.
Something I don't like about it. Let's see if
Order
it'll give me a limit
submitted.
order. That's not going to, I think. No, there's something I don't like about it. Let's leave
Order
it alone.
cancelled. Order filled.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, got it. I made $25 there. Bloody hell. $25 on the I got to keep an eye on that. $25. Okay, so the evaluation. I got you. The evaluation didn't trigger, but the what's it? The PA didn't trigger. The evaluation did. I made $25 on there, so well. Okay, it is coming down anyway. Just looked like it was a double bottom. That's a triple test, isn't it? Oh, triple test. Look at that. No, it's quite bearish at the moment, isn't it? I just can't get involved in that, I don't think. See, we have pushed up there, strong bearish bar. I just can't go long there, although it does look like a triple test. But after this strong selling, I think it's risky. Yeah, it's a triple test. Could go up, trigger you, come back down. After all that, I just can't go long just yet. But if it breaks above there, and I can't really go short here either, because it's going sideways. But I think if it breaks above there, we may push back up a little bit, but it's just too risky. Yeah, strange actually. Something looked like it triggered, but I still saw the sell bar. So I'm quite glad I didn't take it, because I'd probably be waiting for it to go low, and this looks to me like it's going to take out any stops there. I just didn't like the look of it, because it does look like it's a bottoming pattern. And I'm glad I left that, actually. I made $25 for nothing. Let's have a look. Yeah, I wouldn't have come out of that yet. You'd have squeezed a point and a half out of that, but it's just this sideways and double bottom. Okay. I didn't know you were there, Nick, to be fair. Yeah, cheers, Nick. Thanks, B. Yeah, I just noticed that I saw $50, and obviously it took the usually when you cancel it, it seems to take a tick off you, doesn't it? But oh well, it is. Well, it definitely looks like a bottoming pattern. I didn't have the nerve to take that one, because it was a little bit congested, and I thought it may be a little bit sideways. It may go a bit sideways and then come down, but let's have a look. Is it going to come down, or is it going to push up? I'd say it's hard to say whether we're going to make a new low from this or not. I personally wouldn't get involved there. Trouble is, after this big sell-off, you would expect to make a new low, but we've had a triple test, haven't we? So who knows? It might work. It's one of those 50-50s, isn't it? It looks like it might, but I don't think it will. You just don't know. Maybe it will. Yeah, well, there you go. Trouble is, you've still got stock. I mean, that, as far as breaking and having a new low, it's about as good as a bar as you can find. But because we'd had this double bottom, it made that a risky trade, which is why I sort of left it alone. Well, cancel the order partly. That's why I backed out of it, just because of this. How are you? All right now, mate? But I got a free $25 out of that one. In fact, to be honest with you, that's the first time I've had a problem with Replicanto, but I don't class that as a problem. Market moved exceptionally quick, and I am aware it can happen. There's certainly way less problems, but I should be aware of that. I usually have a quick look, but something I noticed in the eye line was green, and then I right-clicked it, and then I saw your guys' messages up. So I was seeing if there was any type of a different channel there. Something like this, because it didn't fit along the back side of it. I'll tell you what, let's just... It's quite big for a spiking channel, isn't it? But you've got 67 Guardian Age. Thank God for that. Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for that. Luckily, I had noticed it. Mind you, having said that, where did I go? It was short here when I said I got stopped out anyway. So yeah, I mean, I cancelled it. I didn't realise it was still going, but let's, is that right? Spiking channel. Touch, touch, touch. Working across the back. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Let's get rid of it. I don't want any bias now. It's no, I don't want ranges at the moment. It's clearly I wonder if it will come back in. Yeah, it was still a good trade then, I think. The fact that it went side was the... But the trouble is, if it is a good trade and a good setup, they usually hold. And obviously we had this high. We tried to go one strike with twice failure. And as soon as it dropped below there, it came down. And then we had that quick drop down. And some of them can't spell. I forgive you. You pull me out the shit. I forgive you. Yeah, see, I ummed and ahed whether to come out of there, and I did in the end with a point. But sometimes I think at some point you've got to, if you see a good trade, you've got to just let it go. And that to me was a push up. It was a visual second entry short. It was a beautiful bar. But nearly as good as they look. The only thing the way that can look better is that EMA sitting on top of there. But EMA's facing down. We've had this big strong sell-off, a couple of legs back, maybe a little bit of sideways, and then it obviously dropped out. So it would have worked, and it would have made a nice few points. I can't remember where I brought my stop down, didn't I? So it was here, wasn't it? I'm sure I brought my stop down to about here somewhere. So I might have got a good 7 points out of that. Mind you, it shot quickly, didn't it? Then it went a bit sideways, so I'd have panicked and dropped my stop in about there, I think. But yeah, so far so good. Okay, so I got a point in the bag anyway, so at least I'm going to go at the weekend. Not too bad. Oh, excuse me. You say that though, 67 Guardian Angels, only two of them said something. What happened to the rest of them? Yeah, you know who your friends are, don't you? When you do something like that, leave one open. I bet well, there's two of them who let me know, and I'd say the other 65 were stood there laughing, thinking, "Let's see what's going to happen." Okay, so we got one leg to go. I want a second entry short. That is. Try to go once, try to go twice. Second entry short. Trouble is, it's right in the middle of all that lot. So it's just a big no-no. Are we going to come down? We seem to be getting lower. I don't know. It's hard to say. I got no idea, really. One leg, two leg. It's a hold for the longs. You thinking long, are you? Yeah, I don't know. Push down a little bit of sideways, push down a little bit of sideways. I'm thinking down some more. Whether we'll end up having something like this, who knows? Possible. Maybe that is a bit of a spike in channel, I don't know. Yeah, this could just be a bit of a failed breakout. Trying to go low, a couple of times, and up we go. We'll soon find out. Okay, I think we may be. Okay, so whatever's happened here, we've had our new low, haven't we? So I go low once. We're still in this channel, so we can't take that anyway. I think it's just going to push up anyway. Maybe a few stops here. Yeah. Just wondering whether play both sides. Well, I don't know where the top is really. You could say this, but trouble is that the top? It's hard to say. To be honest with you, I'd say ranges, if I'm honest, are probably one of my weaknesses. Thing is with ranges, especially, they work quite quick, and I'd say they're one of my, not my strong point anyway. Okay, touch is nice. Touch, 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 touch. Beautiful touch. So that's working nice there. So I don't know. I mean, I certainly prefer to short the tops because for me, I think it's likely we're going to go lower. I mean, we've retested this a few times. We've pushed up, but we strongly rejected. We've pushed up again, and seems to same again. So I'd say we'll probably be going to be going lower. That's what my thoughts are. Better than flipping burgers. Yeah, you know, my mate. Yeah. Have we actually broke below there? I'm not sure whether we have. I think if we do, I think we're going to come down some more. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, this just looking like a after this news, I think. Quick push down after recovery strong. So we may get a really solid long move down today. There's certainly a long way we could go. Just trying to find something that resembles a channel, which will give us an idea. Let's just try nicking the bottoms, see if that helps anything. Uh, No, I'm not convinced. Let's get rid of it. See what happens here at the bottom. One leg, two legs. In fact, that looks like a leg and a leg, doesn't it? I don't know. Let's see if this fails. Clearly some form of a down move, but there's nothing that's obvious to me as a trend. No, it just looks like more push down, sideways push down, but I can't see anything that resembles a trend of some sort at the moment. It's messy, and I think a lot of it's to do with that sharp sell off there because of the news. See how far we get here. Risky, that, in my opinion. Are we going to go up and retest these highs? I'm not convinced either way, really. This could be a double trap here. Yeah, big wicks either side. Are these going to get stopped out? Would you take a short there? Probably not. I think there's going to be more longs in there than shorts. I don't know. Okay, possible second entry short. Might avoid range bound. Yeah, you're right, mate. Trouble is, that could come bearish and you could go short. It might tick down and push up. That's the trouble. In other words, if it pushes down, you might end up getting a bullish bar off the bottom. Take out your... I don't think it's going to finish bearish anyway, I don't think. It's hard to know what to do here. First, I mean, if you get a nice bearish bar there, would you take that? It's hard to say, isn't it? You've hit that measured leg. Let's see how it finishes.
Order submitted.
It's exactly a measured leg. I do prefer it when it breaks out and finishes bearish, but I don't think it's going to. No. Okay, let's bend that.
Order cancelled.
Oh, there we go. I wonder where it was. Interesting. Trouble is, when it breaks out of one side, it can often do the opposite. Big, strong sell-off like that, I just can't bring myself to go long, because we could have had like a leg and then a leg. It's just hard to say, isn't it? Kind of like this as a short.
Order submitted.
See how this finishes. Done. Come back and get me. Come on. Get me. Come and get me. Come on. Love the bar. Come on for a pullback. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, that's a shame. Look at that. Ooh, I love the bar. Clearly 2 legs, second entry long. Let's just bin that. Oh, shoot.
Order cancelled. It's getting choppy now. Not a fan of this. What do you mean by volume profile? Are you looking at bigger time frames? Is that what you mean? Hmm. See, who we learnt this from, Mac. He doesn't use anything else. Second entry long there. I'm just not getting involved at the moment. It's just a bit too choppy. He doesn't use any. Now, I've used a 10,000 tick chart and a daily in the past. But I haven't found it made much difference, because that's not what he teaches. So, you know what I mean? It's just, and I think it's hard to say really, but you just have to go what you've been taught, really, don't you? Do you know what I mean? See, at the moment, things are bearish for me. I can't bring myself to go long or anything, even if this, you know, See, if I was going to guess what would happen, I would say it might retest this bottom here and then come down further. I still suspect this measured leg. It's likely we're going to have this measured leg. But obviously the news has affected all this, so whether we will or not, I don't know. But I would say we're out enough now, and we've obviously broken this low to continue further. Then I would prefer to sort of retest this bottom and then push down some more. He took that one there. Yeah, it sort of shot off without me. I did consider taking it as a limit order when it came back, but I decided to leave it alone. But yeah, the trouble is, what do you do? Normally, see, I'd have mine down the bottom, so as it had come back up, it's that sort of getting used to feeling uncomfortable, isn't it, trading? But I suppose, you know, the longer you've been doing it, the more experience you get. Once you start getting money in the bank, then you'll have a little bit more confidence to sit. So the same with that one there. It looked like a good trade to me. And if I'd have took it on a limit order, still believed it was a good trade, it would have won. Same with that one. It looked like a good trade to me. Push up, a little bit of sideways. So it's clearly two legs up. Clearly a visual second entry short. What happened? It worked, and it came right down, and I would have made. So that would have paid nice, and that would have paid nice. So as you get more experience and you start to build money and start to make money, trades like that, you'll just know that it's worth staying in, you know, and sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But obviously for what you risk, if I'm risking, you know, so what is that? 75, 175, 225, back to, is that right? 225. Yeah, 3. Yeah, 225. So obviously, if you took it down to the bottoms, you clearly make more than 1-to-1 there. That's for certain. 225, tick above, tick below. It's 2.75 points. So I don't know, if you come out at 3.75 points, you've done more than 1-to-1. So same with that one as well. If I'd have just put my, stop down there, my sort of take profit down there. Sorry. That one would have worked as well. Let's have a look. What would I got there? So if I'd have put mine down there, I'd have got 5 points out of that. So 5 points there, 3 point. I'd have been up 7.5 or 8 points or whatever it is or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it did move down pretty quick, didn't it? But when it came back up, I did think, oh, let's see where it gets to. Because what you could do is just jump in here with a limit order and you're risking like a point maximum. So, but when it came back up, you just don't know, do you? Because we had a bit of an overshoot breakout down the bottom. In a lot of cases, you'll see the opposite this end. So it could have come down, bounced off here, gone up to here, about the same distance, and then tanked. So, it's hard to say, isn't it? It's hard to know what to do sometimes. And the trouble is with scalping, because we're, working in such a fast-moving market, your decisions have got to be quick. And the more you see these patterns and these movements year after year, the better you'll get it. It goes without saying, the better you'll get at judging them and just knowing when things are a little bit, you'll just know. But that was a perfect measured leg, one leg up, right, another leg up. We had a couple there, which stalled again on the top line. Then we had a big bearish bar, really, about as good as it engulfed these. So second leg, I like the fact that it broke out and came back down, finished right at the top, nice and bearish, and in the end came back at it, which happens sometimes. It's okay to get a pullback, but that's where your belief in your trade and your confidence is tested. And then we obviously had that push down to the new lows. So if you'd have kept your waited for it to push down, and then just sort of maybe sat on top of that one and this one and this one and this one, you'd have got some good points out of it. See, yeah, I get what you're saying, take the risk, but it depends how you've been taught and what sort of system you've been taught. You've obviously been taught different than me. So you might have took a risk here, you might have took a risk here, but I noticed when you were saying some yesterday, some of your trades were losing. The trouble is, as a relatively inexperienced trader, this high probability trades on this weren't 90-95% of the time, and sometimes a bit more if you know what you're doing. So I personally would rather take less trades and have, you know what I mean? If you take, let's say for instance, you take 5 trades in a day and you lose 2 of them, you're only really up 1. Whereas if I wait for that perfect trade and take the 1, I'm up 1 exactly the same. So it just depends how you're taught, really, isn't it? And I've sort of followed Mac. Mac's been trading for about 20, 27, 28 years. And very experienced, can just read these markets inside and back to front. But, I know what you're saying, but it's just all of, another guy comes on your stream and yeah, you seem to know what you're doing, but I can't just all of a sudden throw my strategy out and take on something different. You know what I mean? Because there's so many different ways of trading the markets. I just have to go with what I spent the last sort of 2 years working on and just do the best I can. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying anyway. You know what I'm saying. It is hard, isn't it? How's my crypto doing? Let's have a look. But yeah, I mean, usually I have a pretty good success rate. But markets have been a little bit tougher to trade. There haven't been as much setups. And when I started nearly 2 years ago, we were getting 6 and 8 setups a day. Really nice, good setups. So, see, that would be a place for me to go long, 1 leg up, 2 legs up, back up to here. But at the moment, I don't know. I've still got down on my conscience, so that might trigger and come down and stop you out. You might take that one as sort of, we've got to push up, back to the EMA and push up again. That would make sense. But because we're in a downtrend, I just can't go long. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to stick to what. It's not so much that it does work for me, yeah, but it's the best I got. You know what I mean? And when it works well. But it's just having that confidence and belief in your trades. You know what I mean? Yeah, see, if I'd have taken that, I'd have been triggered, and I think there's a fair chance I may get stopped out. But it could be a second entry. It's hard to say at the moment, but look, big wicks either side. It's just risky either way. If you'd have gone long there, you may get stopped out, or it might be a second entry long and it might push up for that other leg. Or it could be 1 leg down and another leg down. That's the trouble. It's hard to, there's so many different things going on, and it's making quick decisions. Okay, trying to go once, trying to go twice. There's a possible second entry long and a failure there. But I don't think it's going to materialise. No, it's a poor bar, so you can't go long there. So you would think now we're coming down, and if you took that long, 1 push up, back to the EMA, another push up, you may get your ass kicked. But it's only come down and matched you, so if you stop it a bit down here, you might be okay, but it's just so congested. Yeah, that's almost definitely going to take out that stop. Yeah, so if you'd have had the push up, back to the EMA, another push up, back to the top, you would make sense, 2 measured legs. And if I'd have taken it, it would have triggered me and I'd have got shafted. But then instead of thinking about 1 leg up, 1 leg up again, I need to be thinking about, at the moment, because we're down, 1 leg down and maybe another leg down. So let's see if it retests this bottom or breaks through. But I still, at the moment, I've just seen a bearish chart ever since we've had this news. We had this quick shoot down. We recovered most of it, and then we've had a strong push down, a bit of sideways, another push down, more sideways. I still expect to come lower. So I expect it to break these lows and maybe come down to here, or possibly one of the two. If we can get below here, I expect it to continue down. We've gone a bit sideways. We had a breakout, pull back, another breakout. It hasn't come back up as high, so I expect it to. It's definitely bearish to me. Taking a trade like that might work, but I just can't do it. Because I expect one leg, two legs might trigger and come down. See, you could say it's a triple test, but that one hasn't. I don't know. I'm seeing down at the moment. I am. Let's see if this triggers and then stops them out, stops the longs out. I think it will. Well, if it does, I think it'll come down and stop the longs out. I'm just seeing down at the moment, so I just can't go long in a. Yeah, see, I mean, it never triggers. You might have just bought it, but I don't know. For me, we're coming down. Bit of a channel there. Okay, maybe this is another teaser we've broken out. It might push up, but to me, it's getting lower and lower. I think that'll trigger and come down again. Might push up a little bit and come down, so it's triggered. Let's see what happens. I just can't bring myself to go long in markets that, to me, are slowly working their way down. Okay, so try go once, try go twice, failure. Right at the EMA. But I'm not getting involved here. I'd say I still believe it's coming down. But you just don't know, do you? It's quite choppy in a bit. It's getting a little bit hard to read. All I can tell you is, for me, it's looking bearish, and that's all I'll say. Didn't work out anyway. Holy hell. Oh, sorry. Okay, see if this goes down from there. Sorry. Yeah, it's just not right, is it? Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Actually, I'm just going to sit tight. Okay, try to go one, try twice. That's a failure. triangle once, and it's actually closed below here. So let's see whether they get one leg up and two legs up. I would say I'm still expecting it to come down. One leg, two leg, maybe to this or this, and if it does come down, it might smash straight through there. It's hard to say at the moment, but we've had this trend channel, we've had a push up. I like the trade, but I'm leaving it alone because it's just too choppy. But I would say that's going to make some points. We've pushed out, we've broke in, we've pushed out again, we've come up and retested twice, and a bearish bar. So personally, for me, we're still coming down. But I'm not going to get involved because it is choppy, and it's risky, and you know there's traps galore. So I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to take a no. I'm going to hold on a second. See if this does come down, and if we can get below this green bar here, then I expect to hit that measured move. Okay, so maybe we're going to get a lower high here, possible second entry low, second entry short. See what happens. So we've retested the bottom of this line once, retesting it twice, see what happens, see if it's got the legs to take out, to push up. But to me, it's getting lower and lower. Oh, okay, there you go. That's why I didn't take it, because you just don't know. One leg, two leg, one leg, two. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, and I will be back. I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee, and I will be back. 5 minutes. What's going on here? Okay. One leg, two legs, and down. Let's move that. What's going on there? Okay. Sideways, push up, come down, sideways. Okay. Clearly ranging at the moment. Yeah. Has anybody else use the 5 minute time frame? I'm just thinking. I used to have the 10,000. I used to put the 10,000 tick up. I think I got rid of the 10,000 when I got the trade copy. Because what I didn't realise, it actually doubles up on your what's it? So I'm gonna have to have a fiddle with that. So I think what you get is open a separate screen before you open your Replicanto. Just wondering whether you have anything like that. No, it's more sideways. That's just messy. I use OBS, bud. I would absolutely record your. It's pretty straightforward to use, really. I would absolutely record it. Yeah, OBS, mate. It's free, and it's pretty straightforward to. Or is it? Yeah, it's a bit fiddly. You soon get used to it, but yeah. But you've got obviously options to stream or just record. So yeah, OBS, mate, and it's free. So yeah. But yeah, I would absolutely record your trades. I mean, to be honest with you, I am an advocate of streaming. Just the fact that people are watching you, you're less likely to do something stupid. I mean, I've had one melt up. How long have I been streaming now? Beginning of December, so December, January, February, March. So we're into the 5th month now, and I've blown one account live on. I've had one meltdown in that time while I've been streaming. Excuse me. Everything else has been, every other time I've struggled or I've lost accounts, it's been when I've come back later and traded, which I generally don't do now. Famous last words. So streaming, I believe, helps, but it depends. Some people find it difficult. I know a couple of traders I spoke to said they don't know how you can talk and sort of trade at the same time, but I'm the type of person that thinks out aloud anyway. I generally chat with myself anyway while I'm thinking about something, so it works for me. But I definitely advocate it. I'm definitely an advocate for streaming. Thanks. I will play with it over the weekend. Yeah. OBS. Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. Your secret's safe with me, bud. But yeah, no, it's free. It's yeah, just called OBS. That's it. But yeah, it's free. Pretty straightforward. I'd drag it in and show you, but I don't think it would. I think it'll mess the system up. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. It's going very slow, isn't it? It's almost like a two-tiered, isn't it? It's sort of working the top half, a couple of legs down, and now it's working the bottom half. One leg, two leg, one leg, two leg, one leg. Are we going to come down here? I would say so. Let's have a look. The more you sit and watch these charts day in, day out, you're going to get better. Goes without saying. I hope so anyway. You do get used to seeing certain patterns where you know you've been trapped before. It's like anything. You know, the more mistakes you make, every mistake you make, you're learning something. And I remember Mac talking when I first started with Mac, and he said it's tough to learn. It's like anything, like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. And I'm thinking, how hard could it be? It can't be that hard. and little do I realise, it really is. It really is that difficult. It's sort of, in a way, I would say, like learning a language. So if you do it long enough, you might learn that language to be, relatively okay with it over a few years. But the by far the trickiest side is we had one leg, two legs, right to the nearest tick. By far the trickiest side is the psychological side it has on you that plays a part in your everyday trading, which you just can't avoid. It's what we all aim to do is to sit back patiently and wait for high quality trades. Now, it sounds easy, but it's a lot harder to do than you think. Because when you take a loss, your natural instinct to take a loss is to get frustrated. And that changes the way you trade. You might try your hardest not to, but ultimately it does. And it's very hard to deal with that. Seems to be a new level. And also as well, they say you've got to sit and wait for high probability setups. Now, what is a high probability setup? It's a trade that follows the rules to the T that what we've been taught. The trouble is, trading isn't black and white. There's a lot of grey area. There's a lot of areas that, that look okay, but don't always, it's a lot of it is to do with experience. It's not just as simple as learning to count 1 to 10, and that's it. You can do it. Okay, one leg, two legs down. In fact, no. Okay. Yeah, it's tough, and it's very hard to explain to people how tough it is. Because I've said to my wife about blowing accounts, and she said, "Well, just don't do it." I wish it was that easy. I wonder if we are making a bit of a channel of some sorts. Seem to be. I still expect to come down to this low, but yeah, it does seem to be getting. I mean, from here, same height, lower. It's definitely getting lower. Yeah, you try explaining it to someone who hasn't tried trading when there's risk. They just don't get it. No, I don't like that. It's clearly more sideways with a slight downward bias. Not enough to... You're short, are you? You went short there, did you? I looked at the failure, but it's congested. So I didn't do it. I mean, it does look like one leg, two legs, one leg, two leg. Obviously went below there, but yeah, I'm assuming you're coming out, are you now? Just don't do it. That's hilarious. I know, yeah. I said, I've come up to her and I said, Jim, what's the matter? She can tell that look in my face. I went, blowing on the cat. She went, what do you mean blowing a cat? I went, well, done something stupid, either moved my stop or jumped in when I shouldn't. And she went, well, why? Why don't you just not do it? It's quite hard to... It sounds like it would have an easy answer, but it just doesn't work that way, does it? It's the psychological side. You can't explain it to somebody how difficult it is. You know, it's almost like saying to somebody, you know, if I don't know, if your mate comes out, your mate comes round and says, my wife's left me, you just go, oh, well, don't worry about it. Forget about it. Forget about her. It's not that simple. Anything where you have a lot of strong, powerful emotions fighting against, you can't just forget it. It takes over. You know, the only thing I think about is, and I've said this before, you know, something happens in your life that fires emotions, whether it's, I'm not saying it's the same level or the same powerful, but, you know, if a relationship breakup or the loss of someone, you go through a lot of emotions where you find them hard to control. But the only way that really goes away is time. The more you experience them, the more you have them day to day in your life, at some point you'll start to get used to it and it'll have less of an effect on you. And you'll start to be able to, you know, operate, operate how we should do. I remember doing karate years ago. I did karate on and off for about 17 years. And our instructor got this beam, this 4-inch beam, a foot above the ground, and we all had to walk over it. And it was easy. Because, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to drop a foot. Now, you imagine that beam 1,000 foot up, chances are you'd fall, because the stress of what can go wrong, and it's that worry and panic. So it's what happens with trading. You know, you worry about something going wrong, you lose money, and it has an effect on you. It's sort of cause and effect, isn't it? But, you know, you can learn to change your mind with time. Just keep going and going. And I genuinely believe it just gets better. This is choppy as shit, this is. Every sort of level is higher, higher, lower, higher, lower. Are we coming down? Are we bouncing? Who knows? I still think this leg's likely. We got one leg down, maybe another one. Who knows? Yeah, it just takes time. I don't think there's any other solution, magic solution. I don't think there is. You could, you know, try hypnosis or try this or try that. I don't think any of it works. Personally, nothing I've tried works. You know, I've read a dozen books. Hasn't made a difference. Talking to other traders, I have a chat with a couple of traders that usually on here quite regularly, and that helps. Someone who might be in the same sort of, you know, in the same space as you. That I think helps, can change your mood sometimes. I had a chat with Nick yesterday, 10-15 minutes before we traded. And it just chilled me out a bit, calmed me down a bit. But someone who goes through the same sort of feelings and emotions that you've been through, I think can help sometimes. Certainly having to talk to people. Certainly holding on here. I can still see it coming down. I mean, we had this bottom here, then another bottom, then another bottom. Bearish bias, yeah. Something like that, mate. He does, yeah. He tells me how lovely I am, how good I am. In fact, I think he's got more confidence in me than I have, actually. is there an value fee once you passed the evaluation? Is there a PA fee? Yeah, there's two options you've got, Bill. You can have a monthly payment of, I think it's $85, or you can pay a one-off fee of $140. So there's about $55 difference, which for me and you, buddy, it's about 40 quid, just over 40 quid difference. Now, if you do pass and it's your first one, I don't want to be negative, but if I was you, depending on how you get through your first evaluation, if you get you through your first evaluation and you do okay and you manage to, take your time and do it the right way, then maybe go for the one-off fee. But I don't think there's many people can say they've passed their first evaluation and gone on to a PA account and made money, in which case I'd be more inclined to do the $85. But I don't want to be negative. I don't want to give you any sort of negativity, really. So the choice is yours, bud. But it's $85 a month or a one-off fee. So you pay that fee as soon as you've passed. You'll get an email, you're in the UK, early hours of the following morning saying congratulations, and you'll have to go in and sign a bit of paper, pay your fee, and away you go. But once you pay your fee, if you pay the monthly, you'll have to pay that 30 days later. So if you think you can survive for 30 days with your PA account, then you're better off paying the one-off fee. But that's something for you to decide, mate. I don't know what your trading's like, or if you're anything like me, you're probably going to blow a bunch of them. But I don't really want to give you any negative stuff. So what I will say is just take your time, try not to rush it. But also, if things do get a bit tough and the emotions get the better of you, don't beat yourself up, mate. You're doing what comes natural. Okay, so we've had a little bit of a breakdown and then we sort of push strongly back up. So I think we are coming down, but it's not easy. This is what you want to see. Well, we've had a little bit of breakdown coming up, maybe retesting the bottoms here. The EMA, I still expect to come down and make another leg. But I am aware that a lot of this was to do with the news, so whether that will change things or not, I don't know. But it's clearly got a downward bias, isn't it? There's no argument there. Bottoms under the tops are still coming up a little bit, but I look at the EMA down, a little bit up, down, a little bit up, down. It's certainly working down. There's no arguments there. So I expect this to maybe push down now, or maybe come back and try again and then push. There is a lot of congestion around here the second day, so whether that below there will make a difference or not. But hey, Lance and all, can't beat the current Apex sale. Yeah, I know, 90% off. I've said before, I can't see how they will ever go back to the 50%, because no one's going to buy them. So they've sort of cut their nose off to spite the face, really. I haven't paid anything more than 80% off in the last 6 months. And I would say, and I know this from being an affiliate, I get hardly any when it's the 50% off, but when it goes to the 80% off, I get 5, even 10-fold. So they don't sell many with the 50% off, but they sell a stack of them at 80% off. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, when it's that cheap, people will take risks and they'll blow more accounts. I shit you not. So they make more money. So that's what I mean. I can't see them. I think they'll drop the price down. And I think they'll keep the price down at some point. That's my personal opinion. And if you ask my wife, I'm always right. So you don't have to believe that if you don't want to. Yeah, it's sort of working down in that fashion, but I'm not a fan of it. It's down a bit sideways, down a bit. Okay, so second entry short. Is it near enough? I would expect that now to break these lows, depending on how it finishes. Yeah. It's a bit risky bar, but I would expect it to come down. Whether it struggles again with these lows, I don't know, but it's just too risky to take, I think, really. It's 4, 5, 6, 4.25, tick above, tick below, 4 3/4 point risk. Too risky, I think, because it is very choppy. Although it might work for you. Absolutely, Toad. Absolutely. I think that's what most people do. I mean, I've even chatted with the Canadian futures trader. Now, he makes a lot of money. And I think if he does new evaluations, he tries to speed them to get them out of the way. So maybe, and I've done it myself plenty of times. I've gone 10 contracts. You know, if you take 10 contracts, you only need to win a trade with 6 points and you've passed the evaluation. So it depends how you want to do it. You know, some people might not want to sit through day after day and they might want to get it done and dusted, but everyone's different. But I think I'm naturally a little bit impatient, which is why it's, you know, taking me a bit of time. But yeah, when it's so cheap, that's the problem with it being so cheap. Interesting. So that has triggered. So will it come out and take this stop out? I don't think it will. I don't think it will. That's a lot of selling pressure. There's definitely way more red candles than green. And they're starting to feather off even more, aren't they? We might get to here. We might get underneath here at the tops of these. But I think we're going to come lower. So you may have taken that long. There's maybe a triple test or something, and you've got stopped out there. But yeah, I agree, RG. Yeah, that's the right way to do them, because otherwise you'll get into some bad habits and you'll trade everything like that. It's pretty hard to get out of that when you're trading like that. So yeah, absolutely. Which is why I admire people like what's his name? What's his name? One I mentioned earlier that trades Shilan Winter. I admire him as a trader because he's doing it the right way. The last I saw, it was about 45, 50 days, still on $125,000 evaluation. At one point, he was $1,000 down, but he still sat there, and I believe he's still doing it. But I think it's the right mental approach to do it. So, I mean, if he's not blowing evaluations and he can manage to sit there that long through an evaluation, then I think when he gets to the standard to a PA account, I think he'll do well. I wish I had more of his patience. You know, we're all different. We all have different levels of patience. Some it takes a little bit time. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. That's triggered. If you took that, trouble is things are going down at the moment. It's just, right, this is moving quite fast now. I can see this dropping pretty quickly, personally. Or pushing up quickly, one of the two, but it is starting to get a little bit volatile. There's no news that I'm aware of. Just wondering if there's people going along quickly. But it does look like it's preparing for a quick move. It does that sometimes, starts going up and down like this, and then wham, it just shoots off in a direction. Let's see what happens.
Interesting. Yeah, it's down for me. You'd taken that one, it worked. If you'd have taken that one, you're in it at the moment. If you'd taken that one, it would have worked. If you'd have taken that one, that lower high or whatever, or second entry short, it would have worked. One leg, two legs up. If you'd have taken that, it'd have worked. But the trouble is, there's quite a lot of shorts in this trade, and sometimes that's what makes it a bit dangerous. Sometimes it can just plow up. Yeah, I'd say this is going to take out any stops that might have been in here, and then I think it'll move pretty quick. I have tried a few of those, Chad, in about here. I have tried that in about here, and it sort of works, but it's a lot of sideways and then a bit more sideways. So it's more sideways than. So I took it away. I don't really need this to tell me it's going down at the moment. It's not fitting nicely. We've got a couple of legs down and then a bit of sideways, couple of legs down and then a bit of sideways, and I think another couple of legs down, I get a bit of sideways. So sort of push down, we're ranging a bit, and then we had a sort of another push down, and then we're ranging in this area a bit, and now we've had another, we're ranging again a bit. But I know what you're saying. We're clearly coming down anyway. But it is very choppy. And price is struggling down here, and it could just wham up really and take out, because there's probably going to be some shorts in there, maybe thinking about one leg, two legs. There may be some shorts there. There was probably some there. Who knows? It might just... That's the trouble. Sometimes when it gets like this, a bit sideways and a bit messy, you just don't know what it's going to do. It's a bit unpredictable. I mean, I wouldn't have taken that. If I was going to take a trade down here, it would have been this one, but it's such a big bar and there's not much room to the lows really, and you just don't know whether it's going to just, you know. If I was in that trade now, I'll be crapping it. Because if I took that, I'd expect to at least sort of, we got one leg, two legs, one leg, two leg, one leg, two. I'll at least expect to get down here, one leg, two leg, one leg, down to here, two leg. See what happens. It's definitely congested there, no argument there. But it could just, it's only got to go up a little bit more, and then that could send it skyward. Actually, that is probably there, actually. It's sitting on a bunch there. A bunch of them there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's closed within. We've only had this little bit of a push. Excuse me. Picking from the lows, I draw like the downtrend. Yeah. Yeah, if I'm taking trades at the moment, I'm not taking anything at the moment because it is sideways, but it's clearly downward. The trouble is I've been sucked into these downward
sideways downwards trends before, and you get in, all of a sudden, wham, it just takes off. Yeah, Chad, you just got to be careful. And you sort of learn that by taking some of these and losing. I mean, one leg, two leg. That wasn't a bad trade for me, but it went quick. The trouble is then you either get out with a couple of points, or then you've got to have the confidence to let it backtrack on you 2/3 of the way and then come down. But trouble is, at that time, we'd only really hit this once, so this, you might have had your trend here, and the trouble is with there, we might have had a break out the bottom, and in a lot of cases, you get a break out the bottom, you can get one at the opposite end as well. And in other words, they could have ticked you and gone up there and then ended up doing the same thing, which is why I was sort of, did I cancel that last minute? I can't remember now, but that's the trouble. When it's ranging like this and it's very messy, you've got to be really quick thinking, otherwise you can get yourself into trouble. And, you know, some of these quick decisions can get you in a bit of trouble as well, because you don't have a lot of time to think. And we all like to think we're on the right side and we're making the right choices, but sometimes, you know, in the heat of the moment, you jump in and you make a bit of a mistake. Trouble is for me, I'm sort of I'm a bit of an all or nothing type of person. I like it to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, I'll let it completely go. And you know what I mean? So I've had to learn to sort of forgive myself from mistakes. You've got to learn to forgive yourself in this business, because you can make silly mistakes and you get frustrated. But I think you've got to appreciate that in a fast-moving market like this, especially for relatively inexperienced traders, when we're all trying to make it, you can be frustrated with yourself, and if you are frustrated with yourself, it can go against you. So you've got to sort of learn to let things go, which I struggle with. Here we go down. Let's see. Trouble is, there's obviously a lot more short trades at the moment, isn't there? And that's what concerns me sometimes. You just don't know when it's going to go wham. And if it takes them out, it's all likely to take some of them out. You're going to have shorts all the way up here. I don't think it will, but that's what concerns me sometimes when it does this sideways, but with a slow and a very slow. I've been caught out before thinking it's going lower, and then all of a sudden, wham, up it goes, and then it just keeps going then. I don't think it will, but this is still my target anyway, but it's not breaking down strongly like I would have expected. Every time we come down and break one of these lows where you think there might be some buyers, it, you know, 1, 2, 3, you may have taken that on a triple test, you may have taken that one. So look, I think we may come down for this now. We look like we're having a... Oh. I was chatting to another guy this morning, actually. Kiwi from New Zealand. another trader I've had a little chat with, and I said, as he found the markets tough lately, and he went, nope, he just cherry picks. So if you really, really carefully watch the markets and wait for those really obvious setups and take one a day, maybe two a day, you're not necessarily going to feel a pinch, but he's obviously adapted a bit quicker than I have, because I found it a bit hard, and people I've chatted to have found it hard and frustrating. But all it really does in scenarios like this is just force you to be that more patient. It doesn't, markets are a bit tougher, but they don't really have to be. As long as you identify when they are getting choppy and just learn to stay out of it and just maybe pick moves, something like this, or, unfortunately, there's not a lot. You may have taken that, but I don't know. But there's not a lot of setups, so it does force you to just have to sit through so much of this shit. And it is frustrating. It's going sideways. We had a couple of pushes down. Now it's a bit more sideways. The trouble is, you get involved in this, it could, you're thinking short, and then all of a sudden it can wham, knock you out. But it does force you to be very cherry picking. It was a word he used, which is about right, isn't it? You just got to sit and wait for those beauties that just literally jump in front of you and go, here I am. Yeah, yeah, Chad, I get what you're saying. Otherwise, no trades today. I think you're much better off if there's just no... I mean, really, you can set all the targets in the world. You can say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. All you can take is what the market gives you. You can't force trades. You can't tease the market. You can't bribe the market. You can't bend it. It's not flexible. It is what it is. If there's a setup and it follows your rules, you take it, and that's the end of it. But obviously lately there has been a lot less setups. Everyone I've spoken to agrees with that. It's definitely trading different than it did 12 months ago, 2 years ago. No argument. And you've just got to, it's part of being a trader. You've just got to adapt, but it can be quite tough, especially if you're an experienced trader like myself. I would class coming up 2 years of maybe now I've moved into that intermediate level where I know enough to make money, but I still find the psychological side hard, and that could take a year or two to sew itself up. It might take I might be struggling with it for 3 or 4, but I'm sure someone told me when Mac started trading on a live chart after the demo, it took him about 2 years before losses didn't really bother him anymore. So so I could expect to maybe struggle a bit for a year, 18 months, 2 years. I think a lot of it depends on you and what type of person you are. But I have a lot more moments of clarity now where I find my sort of niche, if you like. I find what works for me. So all I've got to try and do is just take that little bit less riskier trade. And sometimes if I see a trade that's that Mac will talk about it. If you're a little bit aggressive, you may take that. Those are the trades I've got to leave alone, because as I mentioned, I'm a bit all or nothing, and if I get them all right, I'm okay. But if I start getting them wrong, it affects me a little bit. So the only way to reduce how many trades you get wrong is just stick and wait for those beauties, and wait for those great setups. If I take a trade that I believe to be a good setup, it does not affect me. If I take a trade that I know I probably should have taken out because it's a bit risky, it affects me. So you need to find out what makes you tick and what may. Hey, Sam, how you doing? You need to find out. No trades about the lose. Absolutely. You take a risky trade and it turns into a loser. You've got to take one more trade just to get back to where you were, and you're playing catch up constantly. So I'm starting to realize now I'm much better. Wait, I found I hit the zone last week. I took an average of 1 trade a day, but those trades were about 85%. I took one slightly risky trade, and I said it was slightly risky when I took it because I wanted to pass an evaluation, and it went against me. Fortunately, it was only 1.5, but the fact that I admitted it was a slightly riskier trade what I should have done really is gone, okay, I know it's a slightly riskier trade, let's forget it. And then I may have had a full house, 6 winning trades last week in a row, or 6 or 7, whatever I took. But so, it's just finding the right way to trade, isn't it? It's finding that right level of carefulness, if for want of a better word. Risk, sort of be more risk aware. Target that second leg, so we need a good setup to go short. Yeah. I mean, we're clearly coming down, aren't we? So we're not far away from there. We're only about two and a bit points away from that bottom, but I mean, we're clearly coming down, aren't we? It's not the best looking channel, but it works. Touches a few times here, touches here, works pretty well. But it's very much push sideways, couple of legs sideways, couple of legs sideways. I expect it to maybe retest these tops or retest this and then push down for another leg finally at that measured leg. But that measured leg might not be the best leg because of, obviously, we seem to be working up quite nice and strong until that news, and we had a wham, pull back 3/4 of it, and then we slowly push down a couple of legs back, and then slowly we've just grinded down. So that measured leg might not be a perfect sort of target, but there is some support along that line, so it's as good as we've got anyway. It's as good as a visual target as I've got. So, okay. Short-term trend channel, can't just jump in there. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be those days, and it is very choppy, isn't it? And you need to be more experienced here than ever before, really. As a relatively inexperienced trader, it can be quite dangerous to trade this. What time is it? Okay, it's coming up 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to knock it on the end for the day, actually. It's not often I finish early. I really enjoy the challenge of trading, but I'm up a bit today. So I'm going to knock it on it's Friday, finish early. I can smell my tea cooking downstairs. So that's it for today, guys. At least we're up a bit anyway. We got a point there, which is better than a kick in the teeth, isn't it? But so another quite frustrating week, actually. A bit of a difficult week. I mean, that is just it's a bit of a difficult week. Last week was a lot better. It was a lot smoother, a lot more predictable. I found it easy to read last week, and I think I had 8 trades and I lost 1. But I think that one was a risky one. I admitted I took. So I just need to keep my high standards, really. If I work out the trades I take and the trades I lose, I'm much better off just waiting for 1 a day. I'll be more successful taking 1 a day. It doesn't sound like a lot, but my success rate and profitability will be better if I just wait for that 1 sort of perfect trade. So there you go, guys. Another week done. So that's it. So have a good week, everyone. I hope I haven't bored you to tears. I've just photographed, haven't I? Yeah. So there you go. So have a great weekend, and Monday we'll come back and do it all again. But that's it for me. I'm shutting the chart down now, and that's it. I'm done. I actually feel like a break now. So good shout, lads. See you all on Monday. Yeah, take it easy, guys. So yeah, have a good relaxing weekend, and then we'll be ready for another week next week. So have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I will we'll chat again on Monday.